I'm looking at Andy Pages as, one of those dudes that you need to watch. I don't know if you're saying you're watching him with a fine tooth comb or something like that, but like I've talked about it a little bit in the last week. If there's one of two people, there are two people right now currently blocking the team from like re-signing Kike Hernandez. One is the obvious Chris Taylor, and the other one is kind of Andy Pages, because Kike can play center, he can play third, he can play second, he can do all that kind of stuff. But Pages, when he's good, when he's right, when he's engaged, much like I often said about Gavin Lux, when he's right, he's a very good ball player. And if he's able to play center field and take some strides in his second year as a big leaguer, not basically crater like we saw James Outman do last year, if Andy Pages is able to take those strides forward, all of a sudden it frees up somebody like Tommy Edman to, hey, you know what? If Hae-Sung Kim does not work out, Tommy Edman can move back to where he won a Gold Glove as a second baseman, or if something happens with the guy who's going to play shortstop, Mookie can play second base. It's okay if we say it there. I said second base where he belongs. So, that's where I'm like, Andy Pages really needs to take some strides forward this spring training, like he did last year. I mean, I remember they kind of optioned him pretty early in spring training camp, which doesn't mean all that much ultimately, because they still come over to big league camp. They still play in big league games, all that kind of stuff. But if he takes those strides forward, if the defense is better and he crushes lefties, if he can be maybe not as drastic in his splits, I think it just opens up a whole like array of opportunities for Dave Roberts and the Dodgers and Tommy Edman to do some things like he said at FanFest. He's going to be at his best when his most valuable when he's moving around. So that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping to see Andy Pages take some steps forward with the glove, with the bat. Mainly with the glove, though. That's the thing, because if he's going to be in center field, he's got to pick up a lot of the I guess scraps that you might not be getting with Conforto and Teoscar Hernandez, flanking him out there. So the outfield could be a little iffy if Pages doesn't work out. But thoughts on my guy I'm watching?
Yeah, just to kind of show everybody how the sausage is made, peel back the curtains. We decided on one person each, but I did two each just to make sure there was no overlap. Andy Pages was my second position player, and I agree with a lot of what you said. For me, specifically with Pages, looking at his defense.
Yeah.
Does that first step improve? Can he keep the ball from going over his head? Because that was kind of an issue, where he'd step forward and all of a sudden he's like racing back to try and catch a ball. You're right with Teoscar and Conforto. Those are kind of limited guys. We know Pages is athletic, but he is going to have to cover a little bit more ground. The other thing I'm watching for is contact quality against right-handed pitching. We know he mashes lefties. You mentioned he mashes lefties. Hey, man, you don't got to be a righty killer. You don't got to send the ball, 400 feet against right-handed pitching, but can you at least put the ball in play?
Yeah. Can
you not be a zero against right-handed pitching? I think those are some things that he could improve on, just sacrifice a little bit of that power or a lot of that power even for contact against right-handed pitching and improve on defense. Those are the notes I had on Pages, because he is definitely somebody that, depending on how he performs, could definitely indicate or sway this organization one way or another with who ends up on that starting day, that opening day roster this year. He's got options still, so they could just leave him in the minor leagues for a whole year if he just doesn't figure it out. I'm not saying he won't, but that's just a guy who gives the organization flexibility and also has like obvious rooms for improvement. Like we don't mention guys like Chris Taylor because we kind of know what Chris Taylor is already. You know what I mean? Same with Michael Conforto, same with Teoscar. Like these are the guys that we know what they are. Andy Pages still has room for improvement, so that's why he's getting mentioned.
917 OPS versus left-handed pitchers was Andy Pages last year. That is an all-star quality of OPS. 647 against right-handed. It's quite bad, and that's basically at a point where it's unplayable. And if it is a platoon, that's fine, but like we've talked about a number of times, it's a different season. It's a different era of Dodger baseball where you can't really I don't think it's the best angle, the best approach for them to go with some sort of platoon, especially in center field. So if he's a part of it, if he's a fourth outfielder, whatever it is, that's fine. But if he finds a way again to take those steps forward, kind of close the gap between the lefty and the righty, even if it means sacrificing a little bit of left-handed, punch or whatever, like you're saying, shorten that swing, just find some grass. That's his role. He does not need to be a slugger. He does not need to be a 3 or 4 or 5 hitter for this team. He needs to just move the ball, get on base, and he can do it. He just needs to do it against right-handed pitching. Underdog Fantasy. It's the easiest place to play all your fantasy sports, and it's now proudly helping support us here at the All Dodgers Podcast. If you want to make some picks on your favorite sports, Underdog Fantasy offers a unique approach to fantasy sports with a simple pick'em style format, so it's easy for idiots like me, provided I don't make the picks that I made last Thursday. Just let me tell you how it works. You just pick higher or lower between 2 and 8 players, and you could win up to 325 times your entry. That there on the screen says 100x. With the promo code I'm about to give you, or the one you see here on the screen, it's actually 325 times your entry, but you got to use that promo code ALLDodgers, and new users will get a free pick and up to $1,000 in bonus cash, which is just as good as money. Here are my Super Sunday picks locked in. You can see I'm very, very heavy on my birds. Go Birds. But yeah, check it out. Click the links in the description. That's the best way to go and download the app. Go to underdogfantasy.com and sign up. All that kind of stuff. Use that promo code ALLDodgers. Get your free pick. Get the free $1,000, up to $1,000 in bonus cash.